We'll say goodbye to Gordon Hughes for getting us out on time. We now begin our journey 2.5 miles around the village at Susquehanna Station.
Look at the steam flag in front.
The farmhouse that we are approaching was the birthplace of Henry Ford. He was born here in July of 1863. The farm was located just outside of Detroit. And the family raised sheep. Now just past the farmhouse, if you can look to your left, you can look down on our main street. Here you'll find Ford Motor Company, Mary Cohen's Millinery, the Heinz Home, Carousel, Wright Cycle Shop, Wright Home. We're now coming up to Menlo Park. This is Thomas Edison's laboratory in New Jersey. He's credited with over 1,000 patents for this facility. If you ever have the chance, you can stop by, go inside and see his photograph and incandescent light bulb. Now if you look to your left across the street, the old building is the Sarah Jordan boarding house. This is where all the single young men that worked for Edison would stay and live. That was one of the first few buildings. Next to it is whenever we get too cold in New Jersey, you Florida to conduct music here. We're now coming up to the Eckley Bridge. This is our gateway into our Fortress of Harbors district. From Susquehanna Station, you can visit all of the historic homes we have here in the village. You can even go up the hill into Noah Webster's home. He is credited with giving us our first American dictionary that took over 25 years to complete. Or you can go into our Susquehanna plantation or down the end to our colonial Daggett farmhouse. As we come into Susquehanna, we can wave and say hi to Ginger, station master here. And I ask everyone to please remain in your seats until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the left-hand side. Please wait for the whistle. We'll say goodbye to Ginger here at Susquehanna Station. We now begin our journey around the village to the north side at Smith Creek. We're passing by our Susquehanna plantation. This comes from Tidewater, Maryland. And in 1832, their principal crops were corn, wheat, and tobacco. We're approaching our Cape Cod windmill. This was built in 1649 to grind corn and wheat into flour. It is the last known original structure of its kind left in the United States. If you ever want to try colonial living, our Daggett farmhouse next to it predates the American Revolutionary War. It was built in 1754. If you stop by, you can go inside. They'll be happy to show you what life was like back in our colonial days. afternoon is our 1932 Edison. This was built by Mr. Ford at his Bruges complex for his very best friend, Thomas Edison. Back then, the Bruges was the northern terminus for his Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton Railroad. As we enter into the reserve, this will give you an idea of what it was like to travel across the United States in the early days of the railroad. Before that time, our major means of transportation were by stagecoach, wagon, horseback, or even walking. With the advent of the railroads, the time spent traveling distances was dramatically reduced. Back then, if you were to travel between Detroit and Chicago by stagecoach, it would take on the average of 3 days or more of travel. With the coming of the railroads, the time spent could now be done in hours. Into Walnut Grove. This is our activities field during the season. It's also home during the summer to our historic baseball teams, Lottie Dodds and Nationals. They play by the baseball rules of 1867, and back then gloves had not been invented yet. If the ball was in your direction, you had to try and catch it barehanded. They will be playing on the weekends from June into August, with the World Series in the middle of August. From here you can also see the backsides of Coxwell Cottage, Giddings, Webster, and Frost homes. Approaching our Henry Ford Academy. To attend, you must be a resident of Wayne County. It is done on the lottery system, so if your name is drawn, you're allowed to attend here grades 9 through 12 for free. 9th grade starts at our academy by the museum. The main building here is for grades 10 and 11. Now as we slowly go around the turn, you will find 3 railroad cars that have been combined into 3 large classrooms. This is where the seniors finish out their final year. your right on the top of the hill, you'll see the main line for Norfolk and Southern. This track goes all the way from Detroit to Chicago. Now if you look to your left just past the stone building, you will see the Martha Mary Chapel. This was built by Mr. Ford to honor his mother and mother-in-law. Throughout the year we host a lot of weddings in the chapel. Next to it is our Taste of History, offering a wide variety of food for cafeteria style. Also, we have a new restaurant open. It's called Stand 44, and that is on State Street. This is the first year that Stand 44 is open. Now, as we come into Spit Creek, this can be your exit point to go 2 blocks over to Main Street and the Carousel. Down the hill, you can go to Ford Motor Company or to the right cycle shop. Down Junction, you can walk on the south entrance into our roundhouse or to the Liberty Craft Works to watch our artisans creating glass, pottery, printing, weaving, and carding of wool to be made into threads. You can also, if you wish, go to Stand 44, just 1 block over, and down State Street. Now I ask everybody, please remain in your seats till we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the left. We'll say goodbye to Jeff here at Spit Creek for getting us out on time. So now we get our journey to the front at Firestone Station. We'll be passing by our Spit Creek train depot built by Grand Trunk Railroad in 1858. It was the first stop on its way from Port Huron down to Detroit. It's unique in that the station master and family were allowed to live at the depot and conduct railroad operations. It's in the general area of the depot that Thomas Edison, with one of his chemistry experiments, caught the baggage car on fire. They were able to put the fire out, but they threw Edison and his chemistry set off the train. He was forbidden from ever working on a Grand Trunk again and had to walk the 8.5 miles back to his home in Port Huron. We'll now be passing by our Detroit, Toledo, Milwaukee Roundhouse. This was built in Marshall, Michigan in 1884 to service and maintain steam locomotives. We carry on that tradition today as a working roundhouse with the 3 coal-fired locomotives and diesel electric that we operate here during the season. This is the first time in 4 years the roundhouse is now open for everyone to go inside. You can enter from the south side entrance. We'll now pass by our Liberty Craft Works, where you can see our artisans creating glass, pottery, printing, weaving, and carding of wool. Entering into our Firestone Farm District. This was the home of Harvey Firestone, founder of the Firestone Rubber and Tire Company. You're welcome to stop by our house. You can go inside and see what life was like back in the 1870s. All the fields on the farm are cultivated by horse-drawn equipment. approach Firestone Station, I ask everybody to please look about you. Make sure that you have all of your belongings as well as cell phones. And then if you would, remain in your seats until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the right-hand side. Please wait for that whistle. Also, do not stand up before the whistle blows. Sometimes the cars with the tracks being wet will bounce as they stop. Please wait for that whistle.
Hopefully, Thomas will be a little nicer weather at the end of 1.5 hours.
Just now